everybody, it's Monique and I'm back with another YouTube video. If you are new to my channel, thank you for clicking on my video and please subscribe. And if you are a current subscriber, thank you for coming back. Thank you for staying subscribed to my channel. Basically, this video is going to be a favorite TV shows, or like what TV shows you should be watching. So I'm just put it out there. I watch way too much TV. I always have. That's always been like my go-to escape from regular day life. I love all kinds of shows. I don't have a preference in the type of show or the type of content that's in the show. Start with Netflix. So I think my #1 Netflix show, Netflix original, will have to be Mindhunter. So Mindhunter is basically if you're into like serial killers, psychology, and the FBI bureau, the Bureau for Profiling serial killers and different things like that, then you would love this show. It's actually a show that's true about how the FBI created this department. These are real characters back in like the 70s and 80s, and they're talking about how the FBI created the Bureau of Investigation for like serial killers and that department, and how that became a thing. And so it's showing like real things that happen throughout the US with different serial killers in that bureau. I'm obsessed with serial killers, psychology, sociology. That's why I studied in school. That's why I have my degree in. That's probably my #1 show. I'm obsessed with Mindhunter. It's kind of dark. If you were kind of chicken, you might not want to watch it by yourself. It's probably a good show you can watch with a guy. I know a lot of shows can tend to be really girly, but I think this is a good show that can be watched with like a couple. So Mindhunter, I love that show. My heart is Atypical. So Atypical is about a kid on the spectrum, and he is a teenager, and it's just showing how he dealt with life and school and day-to-day things that he deals with, and how he handles those things differently from someone who is not on the spectrum. That is dear to my heart because that's what I did for a living before I moved. Trying to get back in the field while I'm here in Michigan, but I love working with that population of people, and it's my favorite thing. So the show is so good, it's so cute, and it's just so relatable if you know anyone on the spectrum. It's just amazing. They did such a good job of just like talking about something that you don't normally see on television. Another show, this one's kind of raunchy. It's called Easy. They only had about 3 seasons. Each episode is like a different set of people. They all live in the same like city, but they're just showing like a different person, like what they're going through, what they're going through during that same time period, if that makes sense. There's tons of celebrity cameos in there. I've seen Orlando Bloom, tons of different people. I can't even think of everyone, but there's tons of people in that show. It's definitely, you could probably watch it with a spouse. It's definitely kind of like on a rated R side, so I wouldn't watch it with kids around. There's a lot of like inappropriate sexual conduct, cursing, things like that. But it's really good, and it's actually really, really funny. So I would recommend that. Another show I have is Gypsy. So Gypsy, sad to say, only got 1 season, but that 1 season is really good. This is another show that's kind of raunchy, kind of inappropriate. It's about like a psychologist who just gets too inappropriate and too personal with her clients, and she has some issues. So that's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to spoil any of these shows. I want to just give like a brief summary. So yeah, Gypsy is definitely really good if you're interested in like somebody like not following the rules of client and patient confidentiality and boundaries. Definitely watch it. Again, it's raunchy. Don't watch it with kids. Stranger Things is another really, really good show. This is actually one me and my husband watched together. It's very sci-fi, monster kind of show. It has cute little kids on it. There's a few adults in the show as well, like Winona Ryder, which is a known actress. It's basically about some strange kind of like creatures that come into a town, and like a little girl with some kind of like telekinesis powers, and the government hiding some research that they've done that they can't control. I'll say that. So It has 3 seasons. It's a Netflix original. It's really, really The Punisher. So The Punisher is probably another one of my favorite. It's definitely something like a couple can watch. It's a Marvel. Of course, we know Punisher the movie, but this is The Punisher the TV show. It's way better than the movie. The guy who plays the Punisher is insane. Like the fight scenes and just like the stuff that happens, like you are up on your feet watching this. It's so stinking good. The sad part is it only got 3 seasons. You know, Disney Plus took all of their stuff that they own away from Netflix. So if you want to watch The Punisher, I think you can watch the old one on Netflix, but I think they're going to redo it and put it on Netflix and have the same guy play the role. I hope that is the case, because then I will watch it. I was really sad to hear that Disney bought everything and mixing everything up, but The Punisher is definitely amazing. Like if you want to see some action scenes, a lot of blood, guns, that crazy action stuff, definitely watch The Punisher. That's probably like my favorite action show on Netflix. Another good one was Daredevil. I didn't like it as much as The Punisher. The Punisher did make a cameo in it. It's another show that only had 3 seasons on Netflix. Got taken away by Disney. You can probably watch that one on there. It's really, really good. Daredevil is not as like hostile as The Punisher. I like The Punisher because he's like taking nobody's crap. The Daredevil is more like talk it out kind of person, but it's still really, really good. So I would recommend that. That's another one you can watch as a couple. OZARK, that's another show. So OZARK is something you could watch as like a married couple or a dating couple or whatever. It's about money laundering and kind of drug related, but more about money laundering. It's basically about these 2 guys who worked as like accountants and got the opportunity to launder money for like a drug cartel, and it all got out of hand, and one of the guys had to move with his family, and one of the guys got murdered. It's a lot going on. I think they have 3 seasons. It's really, really good. Some people think it's a bit slow. Me and Ryan love it and we watch it, so I would definitely recommend Insatiable. This one's completely stupid. I would not recommend it for guys. It's basically about a girl who used to be fat and she lost a lot of weight, and now she's trying to do beauty pageants. And the guy who is like gonna be her pageant coach, he's a hot mess. He's married, but he secretly loves another man that's married to a woman, and some people come up dead. It's like this crazy, stupid like drama. People come up dead, but they're mixing in with pageant stuff. It's pretty funny. It's kind of stupid, but I like it. So if you want something that's just gonna make you laugh, the guy who plays the pageant coach is pretty funny. The way he carries himself in the show is hilarious. So I really like this. Big Mouth. So that's a cartoon. It's kind of like Family Guy or The Simpsons. Big Mouth is really inappropriate. It's basically about teenagers and preteens going through puberty. But since it's a cartoon, they can show more as far as like inappropriate stuff, you know what I mean? And so it's not for kids at all. It's very inappropriate. It's even some episodes where I was like, I don't even think I'm old enough to watch this, but it is pretty funny. I finally got Ryan to watch an episode or 2 with me, and he was laughing. So if you like Family Guy and South Park and The Simpsons and all those kind of shows, you would, Big Mouth is funny. I have this Mad Men. So Mad Men is not a Netflix original, but Mad Men is on Netflix. So Mad Men is like based around, I want to say the 1950s. It's about this guy named Don Draper, and he is in the advertisement business, and it just shows like how the world was in the US in the 50s, and like advertisement and just the culture of like women in the workplace and men who have power, and just like, it's really, really good. It's interesting. The main guy has a lot of secrets that slowly come out through the show, like who he really is. And he has a wife that's battling with like depression. And so they show kind of just like how psychologists handled things like that back then. And people smoke cigarettes all the time. It has like 8 or 9 seasons. I think it's really, really good. That's something you could watch with the spouses. It was End of the Effing World. I won't curse on here. So The End of the Effing World is a Netflix original. It's based in the UK. It's about a boy and a girl who are teenagers who are just not right in the head, and they both run away and get into some deep stuff. There's some murders that happen. It's some crazy stuff that goes on. I don't want to give too much into it. The new season actually just came out. I have not watched it yet, but it is crazy. Like, these kids just find themselves into some effed up situations, and people die and everything. But it's kind of funny because the way they look at life and just the way they handle themselves is hilarious. But then there's just a lot of crazy stuff going on as well. Like I said, I don't want to give too much into the show, but The End of the Effing World on Netflix, really. American Vandal. Okay, this is another one. Like, when I say the titles, I laugh. So American Vandal, there's 2 seasons. The first season is about one guy. I actually like the first season better than the second. The first season is about a kid who basically got expelled from high school because someone drew penises on all of the cars, the teachers' cars at the school. They thought it was him. He's trying to prove it isn't him. And 2 of his like nerdy friends from school are trying to help prove that he didn't commit this crime, and they're interviewing other students and teachers, and like, it is hilarious. Like, it's so funny because they keep showing the penises that were drawn on the cars, and like them investigating people, and just like him and his friends are just like the typical stupid like California surfing, making dumb videos kind of kids. It is so funny. Like, that's another one me and my husband watched together, and my cousin watched it with us. Like, it's so funny. Season 2 is about a whole nother set of people, but it's still really funny as well. 13 Reasons Why is a really good show. It's very informative, kind of like Atypical. It's just something new and different. They're talking about just different problems that we have in our society. I think most people know about 13 Reasons Why. It's basically about a girl who committed suicide, and she's telling her story within 13 Reasons Why she committed suicide. That's all I'm gonna give you. It's a really good show. It has about 3 seasons. I think it's informative. I think everybody should watch it, honestly. It does not glorify suicide or anything like that. It's more of an informative show, if anything, and just letting people be aware that things happen and life isn't perfect, and you never know what somebody else is going through. So, okay, so this is the one show that I want to talk about that's old. It doesn't come on anymore, but it's the only one I'm going to mention. And if you like shows that don't come on anymore and you want me to mention some, I'll do another video. But this one is The Office. The Office is hilarious. I don't think I know anyone at this point who hasn't watched The Office. It's so funny. Like, I just can't. I don't even know if I should just describe it. The Office is basically about an office where people work in the paper industry. So they sell paper to different, like, bigger companies that need paper goods. You know, paper to type and print out things on, and there's just a stupid boss and a whole bunch of stupid people that work under him, and they get into some stupid stuff, and it's the funniest thing ever. The show is You. So You is a show that went really popular. It's really good. It has the guy from Gossip Girl on it. Basically, this is a guy who sees this girl and he's obsessed with her. He wants to date her, he wants to be with her, and he thinks the only way he can be with her is to get rid of the people in her life. But he wants to get rid of them, like really get rid of them. And so it just shows like what that looks like from his perspective, and him meeting her, and like just him being a creep. Okay, so I don't want to give too much into it, but just know it's a very strange show. It's not for kids. Ryan did watch it with me. It is, I think couples can watch it. But yeah, it's a good mystery, like very creepy guy kind of thing. I would recommend it. Dear White People, that's another really good one. So I know a lot of people may think, oh, this show is like kind of like bashing white people and stuff like that. But honestly, it's not. It's about a girl in college who's half black and half white, and she goes to a school. It's like just a historical school in America. So there's a lot of every race that goes to that school, and it just shows her like navigating the world and what it looks like for someone who's mixed, and like her, like, you know, wanting to stand up for black people and the issues that we have in America, and also being able to teach people of other races, especially white, like what those problems look like and how they can help with those problems and how they cannot contribute to those issues. It's really good. It does have a lot of comical stuff in it. It's really funny. It does have serious moments, but it also has funny moments too. And it has normal college kind of stuff, you know, breakups and getting back together and failing out of school. And it's a good, well-rounded show. It has about 3 seasons, so I would recommend it. It's pretty good. Don't let the title scare you if you're not Black, okay? You can still watch the show. Trinkets. So Trinkets is about a girl who is a kleptomaniac. She has gotten in trouble for stealing. She goes to like a meeting, like I guess there's meetings for every kind of like disorder or disease. And so she goes to a meeting to like, you know, get to like stop herself from stealing and stuff. And I think it was court mandated. And she meets 2 other girls, and they are in the same boat, and they start to just hang out and steal together and get into trouble. They're high schoolers. They breaking up with boyfriends. There's somebody whose car gets stolen. It's pretty intense. A lot of the girls do have a backstory, like relationship issues, death in their family that they're dealing with. So there's like showing a reason why these girls may steal a lot, and different pain that they've been through. It is pretty funny. There's a lot of funny moments, but it's just one of those shows that just talks about, you know, things that are important and just how people may cope with things that happen in their life, and stealing could be one of them. So it's pretty good. It's pretty funny. I think it's a cute little show. So Sleepers was, it's like a more of a documentary kind of show. I'll just say, if you like documentaries, it is about something that's real. It's about the Catholic Church, and something that happened in, I want to say it was in Boston like in the 50s. It's kind of sad. When I watched it, it was something that I was like, man, I want to finish it. It's only like 7 episodes, but it's definitely, I think it's informative, and it's something that everybody should watch. But it's definitely just sad to see that things like that have and still continue to happen. But it's about the Catholic Church. Another one is Abducted in Plain Sight. It's another one that's only like 7 or 8 episodes. It's a true story. It's about a guy who was a family friend and close with everyone, and he went to church and was just like a community like driven good neighbor, but deep down he liked little girls, and he brainwashed little girls, and he had sex with young girls, and how he got away with it, and what the victim looks like now, and just like that. It was in the 70s. It's another very informative show that I think is important to just watch. Riverdale. So Riverdale is my favorite. So Riverdale actually still comes on the CW, but all of the old seasons are on Netflix. The show started out about a girl and her twin brother. Her twin brother was missing, and it was based around like what happened to Jason Blossom, and it just spirals out of control. It's kind of a loose connection to the Archie cartoon or the Archie comic books. They have a few of those characters' names in the show and like how they look and stuff, but they also, like I said, it's a loose connection because they have their own like storylines and stuff that they're dealing with. My husband will not watch that with me. It's definitely like a girly kind of show. It's very like drama filled CW, but it's really good. They have season 4 on TV now, so I would definitely recommend Riverdale. I love that show. Love the characters. They have the guy from Sweet Life and Zack and Cody, one of the twins. I think it's Cole Sprouse that's playing on the show. Moving on to Hulu. I'm trying to like go fast. I don't want to talk too much. So Hulu, my favorite hands down show on Hulu is *Handmaid's Tale. *Handmaid's Tale is about what's going on in the world, let's say 40 years from now. So it's one of those like futuristic, like what does our world look like if we continue the way we are? And this one is based around fertility and women not being able to have children. So throughout the whole world, there's a really, really low fertility rate. Kids are not being born. If they are being born, they're not making it through like being infants. And there's a lot of factors that contribute to that, like the food that we eat, the meat and the dairy, the pollution in our air and in our water, the medications that we take, women waiting longer to have kids, STDs and birth controls and different things like that. And so it basically talks about a group that consider themselves Christians, and they basically take over America, and they are forcing any woman that is young and able to have children or has had a child before, they're forcing them to be handsmaid, which means she's going to bear a child to a commander and his wife. And they don't have a choice. So basically America is like a dictatorship in the show. And it is very scary, and it makes you think like this probably could happen for real. And it's really, really good. Like, I got my aunt watching it. Like, it's something you can watch with a spouse. It is really, really good. Another 3 shows on Hulu I recommend is Blackish, MIXEDISH, and GROWNISH. They're all really, really good. Right now, I'm loving GROWNISH the best because it's about the daughter who went off to college, and like her and her college friends, and how they're like their dating issues, them figuring out how to be adults, and politics, and them getting their first jobs, and like all this stuff. It's such a cute show. I'm upset. Good Trouble. So that actually still comes on TV. It comes on Freeform, which used to be ABC Family. Good Trouble is a spinoff of a show called The Fosters. I actually like Good Trouble better. It's about 2 sisters. They're probably like a year or 2 apart, and they both have graduated college, and they're living together in LA, trying to make ends meet, learning how it is to actually work in the fields that they wanted to work in, and like not being as successful as they thought they would be. And just like, there's a lot. There's dating stuff going on. Just tons of stuff. It's really, really good. It has its funny moments. It's a pretty good show, so I would recommend. Sorry, on Hulu, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. This reminds me of The Office in a way. It's just freaking hilarious. It's so stupid. It has Danny DeVito in it, and it's just funny as heck. If you want something to just laugh at and people just acting real stupid, it's some really funny episodes on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's another good one that I feel like you could watch with a spouse. And I wouldn't watch it with kids. It's kind of inappropriate. They have a lot of stuff going on that kids just don't need to. Okay, HBO. 2 shows on HBO. The first one is Game of Thrones. I have my Game of Thrones shirt on. My shirt. Mother of Dragons. So Game of Thrones is a medieval times type show. It's definitely something you could, like, more men probably watch, but I feel like girls are into it. I know I am, but it's something you can watch with a spouse. It had about 6 or 7 seasons, maybe 8. I can't even remember. It's not on air anymore. It just ended earlier this year. It's probably hands down like one of my favorite shows, and I've only said this about maybe 5 shows. Like, it's in my top 10. So yeah, I would say Game of Thrones. It's really good. Like I said, it's a medieval show. It's definitely not for kids. There's a lot going on. There's prostitution, there's rape, there's incest. There's a lot going on. It's very inappropriate, but it's so good. Like, it's so good. It's like really, really, really good. And one of the things about networks like HBO and Showtime is they can do and say and show anything. And I kind of appreciate it because it doesn't leave you guessing, you know, they show everything. Another show on HBO is Euphoria. Euphoria is amazing. It has the actress Zendaya. They had 1 season so far. Zendaya plays a girl that is addicted to opioids and a few other types of drugs as well. She's only 17 years old. There's a guy whose dad is sleeping with children. He's secretly gay. There's a girl that's transgender who has like a drinking problem. There's a lot going on in Euphoria. It's really, really good. It has amazing reviews. I would really recommend it. It is not for kids at all, but it's a really, really good show. It has about 8 to 10 episodes for the first. Showtime, Shameless. So Shameless is Shameless is another show. Kind of reminds me of like Always Sunny or The Office as far as like how funny it is. But Shameless also is like more serious, like unlike those two. It just shows like a poor family that lives in Chicago who deal with just like parents that are on drugs or alcohol all their life, and them just living off of public assistance, and them getting into trouble with the law, and them having their own like substance abuse issues and teenage pregnancy and fraud and money, all kinds of things. Any illegal activity that can happen has happened on Shameless. So I'll just say that it is funny and out of control, and I love every minute of it. And it is on Showtime originally, but you can watch old seasons on Netflix. Another show on Showtime is called Donovan. So Ryan actually found this show. It's about a guy who used to be in the mob back in Boston, I believe. Him and his dad and his brothers. And somehow they ended up in California. The dad served a lot of years in prison. And it's just showing, instead of him being a mobster, he's more like a liaison for celebrities and rich people in LA. So when they need things done, they send him in. It's kind of like this bad bodyguard who goes in, gets money, gets contracts, gets things done, and frightens people to do what his clients want them to do. That's the kind of guy he is, but he also has marriage problems. He's cheating on his wife. His daughter's sleeping with a teacher. His dad's in and out of prison running from the law. He has a brother with Parkinson's. It's a lot going on. It's really, really good. It's on Showtime. I'm not sure if you can watch it anywhere else. Probably can buy the episodes. I would 10 out of 10 recommend it. I have not even watched the full show yet. Like, I've seen episodes here and there with Ryan, and I've already been able to tell you all that stuff. So ours, I would recommend Now Apocalypse. So Now Apocalypse is kind of sci-fi. It's about a guy who is gay, and he meets this guy online, and he thinks the guy is playing him, doesn't really want to meet him. He keeps canceling. He meets the guy, and they hit it off, but then he doesn't answer, and he's just having all these weird things that happen that's making him think aliens are involved, and they kind of are, but then they kind of aren't, and it just shows him like he's kind of like a bum, and he has a best friend who it's like a what's it called, where you do like dominatrix stuff over the computer, and people pay her to do that, and she's his best friend, and they dress crazy. Like, they dress probably like the Spice Girls or something, but more raunchy, just like big shoes and tons of colors. And then he has his best friend who he lives with, who he secretly has a crush on. It's a guy, and his best friend is dating a scientist who really doesn't love him, but he loves her, and he cries all the time, but he's really cute and like sexy, but shouldn't be crying over her. It's a lot going on in this show. It is like really weird, but it's funny. Like, I've gotten 2 of my friends to watch a few episodes, and they both agree, like, this is weird. I don't know why I'm watching this, but it makes you want to watch more. Unfortunately, and then the last 2, so I'm getting close to the end. So I wanted to mention 2 reality shows. So these are my favorite reality shows. The first one is the Kardashians. I've been watching the Kardashians since the moment they came out. I don't know, 10 years ago at this point, 12 years ago. I've always watched the Kardashians. I've always loved them. Don't care what anybody else thinks. I always loved the Kardashians. I always watch their shows. They're so funny to me. And I just love watching them. So that's like my go-to trashy reality TV. And then my second one is Vanderpump Rules. So I just started watching this maybe last year. My friend Alexis told me about it, and one of my old co-workers, John, he's like, you gotta watch this. It's funny, it's crazy, it's drama, and they were right. And I got my cousin and one of my friends to watch it because it's so out of control. Like, it's basically a group of young kids who work in Hollywood. They're all trying to be famous somehow, but they work for a really rich and wealthy, they work for a really wealthy woman who owns her own restaurants in like West Beverly Hills. And it just shows all their drama, the dating drama, the fighting drama, the cheating drama, people getting married, people getting pregnant, people getting arrested, all kinds of people getting plastic surgery, sleeping with each other's boyfriends, all kinds of stuff. It's really ratchet, but it is funny. So those are my 2 reality TV shows, and that is it for this video. So I have talked for 35 minutes. I hope I can get this down to like 15 minutes, but it's hard to like tell you to watch a show without giving you a backstory of it. But I guess you can always look these shows up and just read like a summary of what they're about. But I hope this has helped you guys with wanting to have something to watch. People always ask on social media, like, give me a show to watch. This is a video of stuff to watch. I can link all of the TV shows, like the names of them. I'll write them in the description bar. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want another type of video like this, like I mentioned before, I'll definitely film that. And I want to thank everybody for watching this. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please click on my old videos. I'll leave some of those up, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.